All right, I'm rinsing that bucket out real good. We're using some Finalizing BC today. I'm gonna mix 50-50 and I'm gonna downstream it with our 5-gallon machine with a 1.8 injector. We washed this house about a month ago, and this is how it dried. I didn't personally wash this house, but someone on our team did, and they were rinsing with a J-rod, so I'm just guessing they didn't rinse well enough. So we're coming back to do a full oxidation removal on this whole house for free. It's not as bad back here, but we're still gonna do it. Just make sure it's done right. But there is some dripping that you can see. This is the worst side here. So I'm gonna kind of show you guys how we like to do it. One major concern is this door. The last time we did this job, we had some oxidation on the door get stripped off and we had to repaint the door. So, yep, we're about to start this oxidation removal and it should revert the siding back to this color. We'll see what happens. I would normally like to downstream that straight, but I'm gonna cut it 50-50 just so I make sure I have enough to do the whole house. That's 5 gallons there. So luckily it's not hot, the sun's not out, it's starting to rain a little bit, and we're about to get to it. I went a little bit less than 50-50 just to make sure we have enough. Cutting the throttle back a little bit.
You might want to put some gas in there.
All right, here's a little bit more. This is the worst side here. Just started it up, got it back on the throttle. Let me pull this off, get mine started up. All right, let's go. You can see a little bit of it here. Here. It's terrible, honestly. I've never seen this. I've never had this happen before. This is where my guy came back because I got Peter to wash the whole house whenever we were done. Because we did that house and that house. Jeez. So we've re-washed this house with soap, and now we're gonna do the oxidation removal on it. Got the throttle turned down so it pulls hotter. There it is, starting to come out. And I don't want to run out of mix. I just want to get enough. We're just gonna coat it on there. I'm gonna keep it wet and mist it with this, and see how it turns out. I don't want to run out of solution here. And the sad thing is that that bottle of Finalizing cost me more than I charged for this whole house wash. So all right, now I'm just keeping this whole thing wet here. And one thing I look for is I come up, I take my hand, I give it a rub. That right there is just kind of like water. There's no chalk left on the siding, so that tells me it's probably ready to be rinsed. And then whenever it dries, we'll know for sure how it turned out, if it needs another coat. By the time I'm around to the other side of the house, we'll be able to tell probably. You can still see a little bit of oxidation here, so we'll let that dwell. This side's done. Hear that? That's brand new side. Starting to get windy out here. You can see that there's some old oxidation right there. So that's it's a good gauge of how this is working here. It'll be gone in a minute. Just keeping it wet. This side's coming out pretty good. That throttle is way down and it's windy, so he's having a hard time reaching up there. The farther we get along, we're getting more into the sun, so the oxidation is just naturally a little bit worse. So we're upping our strength on our mix a little bit. Whatever gets taken out, I'm not adding any water, I'm just adding chemicals. So we'll come back and look at that spot here in a minute and see how that's turned out. Finalizing, BC. Got a Japanese maple here, so I'm taking good care of that. You can faintly see those two finger lines. Okay, we went back over it with a hotter mix. It's still drying here, but these spots aren't oxidation, it's just wet. You can really see how much oxidation it's taken off. There's not really anything on my finger there. There's no marks showing up. It's coming out pretty okay. I had to brush this little inside concave area. I'm not sure what was up with it, but whatever it was came out. So yeah, this is oxidation removal in general is a pain, but you know, we gotta do what we gotta do. All right, we haven't done this side yet. We have done this side. Get that off there first. Just Finalizing BC on there, no oxidation. So we're giving this a good rinse down. This was the worst side here. We're moving on to the back after this. We're trying to get the M5 up on it just with a little bit of pressure to kind of take off that oxidation. I put 2 or 3 coats on this side to let it dwell because the sun really bakes on this side. So this was really thick oxidation here, but we're making decent progress. We've been here a long time. I hope this never happens again. All right, this was the worst side that the pictures were taken earlier. She's clean. All right, this side's done. Looks really good. It's all dried. A little bit of water that hasn't dried yet, but we've rinsed this like crazy. Now this side didn't turn out that great. We're gonna go ahead and do this one again with a hotter mix. It's still got a little bit of water on it, but doesn't look as good as I want it. So we're gonna see there's a little bit of oxidation on there. We're gonna hit this side again. We're starting on the back. We just did to this little cove, and then we're gonna do the back and then this side. So stuff like that. Typically if I see this here, like I'm not gonna be too worried about it, but it's been like that for over a month now. Our guy we were training, this was his first house that we let him wash by himself. And so that's how it turned out. Typically for this oxidation removal, we would probably charge 800 to 1,000, but today we're doing it for free. That's all I got.